bullpen at his disposal, he's doing just that.
And you look at what Georgia Tech has left on the bench, not a whole lot of left-handed hitters left that you'd like to put in the game, especially when you have your third baseman Matt Gonzalez up. So Danny Hall in a position where he's kind of tied up for the rest of the game as far as who he's going to use and how when you talk about left-handed hitters on the bench.
It's Andrew Wick who's on in relief now for NC State. He's a 5'10", 175-pound junior right-hander out of the state of Washington. And there are his numbers on the season. He's making his 18th appearance, sporting a 4-1 record. And another guy with a very solid strikeout-to-walk ratio. He has worked exclusively in relief. Another one of the setup men for the Wolfpack. He's limited opponents to a .228 batting average. So we're in the fourth inning, and NC State has now gone 4 deep with its pitchers today. The starter Stone, followed by Easley, Orwig, and Wick here in relief. That's one of the things that was big with Carlos Rodon turning in the complete game last night in the second game of the series. Never needed the bullpen. Everybody's pretty much available today.
I think that's why we've seen such aggressive use of it. L.A. David knowing that he can go deep into his bullpen with, like we said, the only one we've seen for any extended period of time was Samsis on Friday night. So it's likely to see a few more relievers before this game is over.
Well, it'll be Matt Gonzalez coming up for Georgia Tech. As Wick completes his warm-up tosses. Wick, another guy who came out of the junior college ranks to come to NC State. He was at Western Nevada College last year. He played JUCO ball in what is a wood bat junior college league. And that's the league that Bryce Harper, when he played that 1 year of junior college ball, graduated from high school 2 years early, that's the league he went to swing a wood bat, show the scouts what he was about, then prove that he was ready to get drafted, and you've seen what's happened since then.
I think they got that one right.
So here is Andrew Wick, first of all, turning and keeping an eye on Brandon Thomas, the runner at second. Matt Gonzalez at the plate is 1 for 1, an infield hit and a sacrifice bunt today. Started the game at second base, playing third base now for the Yellow Jackets. Wick with his pitch, working it downstairs, ball 1. Wick, by the way, was a part of a team that went to the Junior College World Series last year, had very good strikeout numbers last year in junior college, 96 strikeouts in 83 innings. 1-0 pitch to Gonzalez down low. 2-0. NC State bullpen, by the way, quiet for the moment. You've got the right-hander Wick out there with 5 straight right-handed hitters scheduled here. Outfield playing Gonzalez slightly to pull. He takes a strike. It's 2-1. Matt Gonzalez still at .344 for the season. 3 homers, 33 runs driven in. That's the potential go-ahead run at second base right now. Brandon Thomas with the RBI double, 2 outs to go. 2 outs in this fourth inning. Gonzalez taking down low and in the dirt. Austin active behind the plate to keep it in front of him. And it's 3-1. Thomas Smith is your on-deck hitter. Remember, he came into the ball game an inning ago as a pinch hitter, then stayed in to play second base. Wick with the stretch. The 3-1 to Gonzalez. Fouled it away to the right. Out of play behind home plate. Count full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as junior right-hander Andrew Wick works to the freshman Matt Gonzalez. Finally, the stretch. And Wick's 3-2. Fouled away. Gonzalez, a guy who battles up there, and will do it again at 3-2. There's really nothing about Matt Gonzalez as you watch him that says freshman. Don't know any better. You'd assume he's one of the at least sophomore, if not upper class guys on this team.
Shows a lot of composure on the field, both at the plate and on defense as well.
Payoff pitch to him. Fouled it back again. Continues to get a piece.
It just seems like a scrappy ball player. A guy with obviously a lot of talent, a lot of athletic ability. But a guy who doesn't give away at bats is always a tough out. Not afraid to get dirty. Just a scrappy player. The kind of player you'd like to have on your team, but especially in your infield when you have a guy in the middle infield and even at third base, and now, as he now is, who's willing to get dirty for the team and set the tone.
And he has been in the starting lineup every game for Georgia Tech here as a freshman. The Yellow Jackets playing their 40th game of the season here today. Wick will turn back off the mound. Again, paying attention to Brandon Thomas. Danny Hall has been pretty consistent about his starting lineup. 7 guys have started all 40 games. The pitch fouled away again. So we'll try to get it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wick here in relief, having his hands full with the first batter he's facing in Matt Gonzalez. Yet another 3-2 pitch fouled away. Who's going to give in? NC State bullpen. Right back to work. Got a couple of right-handers down there. Yet another 3-2 pitch here from Wick to Gonzalez. Hit high in the air to left. Adamants waiting upon it. Makes the catch, and the inning is finally over as the long duel between Gonzalez and Wick is won by the NC State reliever. Georgia Tech, though, gets a run to tie it here in the 4th. It was a double by Brandon Thomas that deadlocks this game. A run on a couple of hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. On to the 5th in Atlanta. This game's all tied up. It's NC State 5 and Georgia Tech 5 as you watch Atlantic Coast Conference Baseball from ESPN3. In today's game, but Georgia Tech battling back to tie it up, and it'll be Thomas Smith now to lead things off for Danny Hall's Yellow Jackets here against right-hander Andrew Wick. And Wick came on to get Matt Gonzalez to end the Georgia Tech threat in the 4th inning. Took him 10 pitches to do so. He delivers strike 1 here to Smith, who's at the plate for the 2nd time. Pinch hit and delivered an infield single to drive in a run. Back in the 3rd. Swing and a miss by the sophomore, and it's 0-2. Smith will walk on to the Tech program. 0-2 pitch down low and away. It's a ball and 2 strikes. He comes out of Fort Pierce, Florida. Last year hit .302. Guy who went from walk-on to everyday starter in the second half of the season. Now 2-2.
And when Georgia Tech needed a rally last year, it always seemed like Thomas Smith was in the middle of it, either getting on base or driving in runs. Once he became the everyday second baseman, they really started to come together as a team, and this lineup started to hit a lot better.
When you consider that story, one of those guys who's very easy to root for. The pitch lifted in the air down the right field line. It's a long run for Fincher going over to the rail, but it's out of play. Do it again at 2-2. We say walk-on. This is a guy who basically is saying, I'm coming to Georgia Tech one way or another for the education. Now, if I can do what I love and play baseball on top of it, and he's done that quite well, that's just so much more credit to him.
Absolutely. A lot of guys come to this prestigious program and deal with school in the meantime with the hopes of going pro. This is a guy who came in here, wants to be an engineer, and plays baseball pretty well.
He hits this one high in the air towards the left field corner. Let's watch it in the wind. Way back and gone. A go-ahead home run by Thomas Smith leading off the bottom of the fifth inning, and it is 6-5 Georgia Tech.
And you can see the high five given by Coach Danny Hall over there, who's fired up. Thomas Smith just getting enough of this ball. Actually, I think it ended up landing on the other side. Went in front of the net and bounced up. But a great job by Thomas Smith of getting just enough of this ball to get it over the fence. Adams thought he had a chance at it. Timed the jump pretty well, but just not able to get up there high enough to grab that ball. And Thomas Smith once again in the middle of putting Georgia Tech ahead.
6-5. The Yellow Jackets have taken the lead after at one time trailing 5-0. Wick starts. Murray off of the breaking ball and a called strike one. A.J. Murray 0 for 1. He's reached on a fielder's choice. He's also walked. The pitch hit in the air out towards shallow right. The second baseman Ratledge out to take care of it. And there's one out in the Yellow Jackets' fifth inning. One down for Mott Hyde. The Georgia Tech shortstop to the plate for the third time. He's 0 for 1. He drove in a run his last time, though, when he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Andrew Wick with his pitch. Line drive left field and a base hit. 8th hit of the game for the Yellow Jackets. It's a one-out single for Hyde.
Nice piece of hitting there, jumping on the first pitch. This pitch was actually middle out, part of the plate. Hyde gets around it and hits a line drive out the left.
Now here's Michael Hodorowski. Hodorowski came into the game as a pinch hitter in the third inning. Grounded into a double play. He's now 1 for 6 on the season. We were talking about what a story it is for Thomas Smith. A guy not known for his pop. He says if you trust him, that would be the first ball he's ever hit out of this stadium. BP, fall ball, any situation. And what a big one here to give the Yellow Jackets the lead. There's ball one, meanwhile, to Hodorowski.
He's either got a flair for the dramatic or just able to come up with the big hit at the big time.
And that means somebody go get that baseball.
Right.
Visit to the mound from the NC State dugout. Elliott Avent going out there. They've got a lefty up in the pen. You've got Kyle Wren on deck. Be interested to see how they play things here, although my assumption is they're planning to make a move. And I think they've got DJ Thomas in the bullpen. But let's see how this plays out. That is the left-hander. 38 is DJ Thomas for NC State. Now this is getting away from a righty-righty matchup and going left-hander on right-hander, but this I think is also a function of the way things have gone for Wick. He had to really battle to finally get Gonzalez, gave up the home run to Smith, got Murray, but then the line single by Hyde. You're probably thinking about bringing the lefty in anyway, a batter from now when Kyle Wren comes up. If he's ready, you say, let's do it right now and not mess around.
Absolutely, and especially if Coach Avon wasn't exactly like him when he was seeing from Wick, whether it be for one reason or another. But if you're anticipating bringing him in, not exactly sure how your pitcher on the mound is going to handle this batter, just go ahead and bring in another guy and see if you can kind of change some of the momentum in this game.
DJ Thomas, a 6'1", 193-pound left-hander, a junior out of Durham and Riverside High School. When he faced Georgia Tech last year, he got his first save in an extended relief appearance during the third and final game of the series between the Wolfpack and the Yellow Jackets, giving up just 1 earned run on 4 hits over the final 3 innings. This year, as a junior, Thomas, the 2-0 record as he makes his 8th appearance. He has a 1.12 earned run average. There's a whole bunch of guys on his NC State staff out of the bullpen with sub-2 ERAs. Thomas has worked a total of 16 innings and allowed only 11 hits, walked 6, struck out 10, and opponents hitting just 193 against him. So this is the 5th pitcher of the day for the Wolfpack. They're in the bullpen. Thomas Smith, his first career collegiate home run, and giving Georgia Tech the lead as we watch this swing again.
And a good swing there by Thomas, and got it up in the air a little bit, and Adamich just wasn't able to get up over the fence enough to try and rob that. But congratulations, Thomas Smith, hitting his first career home run. First career ball out of Rush Chandler Stadium.
So Thomas inherits a runner at first base. That's Mott Hyde. And here is Michael Hodorowski. And Hodorowski grounding into a 6-4-3 double play his last time. Throw to first. They chase Hyde back. He has 5 stolen bases in 7 attempts this season. Thomas working from that third base side of the rubber and then slinging his throw across to keep an eye on Hyde once again. One out here in the 5th. Hodorowski's in the 9 hole in the Georgia Tech lineup. Austin will go to the mound. Talk with his pitcher. He's behind on Hodorowski now at 2-0. Dylan Dorr started the game as the Georgia Tech DH. Then when the 2 head coaches started playing lefty-righty matchups, Danny Hall put Daniel Spingola up there as a pinch hitter, then called him back when NC State went to the lefty out of their pen. Thus you've got Hodorowski in there taking, and now it's 3-0 as he's patient up there.
And that's one of the big reasons Georgia Tech has been able to come back in this game and take the lead. They've been very patient at the plate, making these NC State relievers work.
There's the 3-0, a called strike, and it's 3-1.